Hello everyone and welcome back. I have another barn find for you today, and this is an MG Midget. Returning viewers may recognize this barn from the last video where I spent over 60 hours restoring a Jaguar XK8. I went a little bit overboard on that car, to say the least, because I was just having so much fun, but I understand completely that that's not realistic for a car of this value. So today, I'm going to give myself 24 hours to restore this car. I want to see how much of a difference I can make in just one day of detailing. This car is really, really rough. I'm sure it's going to be night and day, but if it's not a biohazard by tomorrow, I'll consider that a win. Alright guys, you can see just how dirty this car is, but I want to talk ground rules before I start. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize the long-term integrity of the car. For example, if it needs a light polish, I'm not going to do a compound, even though it might be quicker, because I'd be removing too much paint in that instance. So only my normal techniques that are safe for the car, no rushing to meet this arbitrary video deadline. So with that out of the way, let's get started on these wheels. On bare metal wheels like this, I avoid using alkaline cleaners as they'll stain and turn the wheels chalky white. The nice thing is that they're tiny and didn't take very long at all to clean, which means I could quickly get to the most therapeutic and fun power washing session I've ever gotten on film. Those who watch the channel will know by now that I love rinsing with deionized water and letting the car air dry as I make progress elsewhere. This interior I won't forget anytime soon. At this point, it was more mold and mouse poo than it was vinyl, but I was still blissfully unaware what I was about to encounter. It was obvious that this job needed full PPE, however, but despite being an XL, was far too small, making for an uncomfortable couple of hours. Okay, we're about 5 to 6 hours in. The car is clean, but not polished yet, and we got some paint issues going on right here that I'm going to talk about. I just started disassembling the interior, but I had to take a break because it's so darn hot in this suit. But I think we're making good time. Then I opened the glove box and I found by far the most disgusting thing I've ever seen while detailing. A rotting mouse crawling with maggots. Now, I'll spare you the close-up, but trust me, it was nightmare fuel. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. After a short break, it's time to keep moving forward. I'm happy to be making undramatic, routine progress with hopefully no more surprises. Now check out these moldy seats. Before pulling them, I've got to do a quick clean. Otherwise, I'd just smear mold all over myself as I wrestle them out of the car. Alright guys, we just crossed the 8-hour mark and it is going pretty well. We're making good progress. It's time to clean the carpeting, but on a car that's this bad, it's much more efficient and thorough to just power wash the mats. But I can't do that here because there's gravel, so I need to take the mats up the property and go power wash them up there. Still think it'll be worth it. Let's do that now. When I pre-rinsed the mats, soap started flooding out. That's a dead giveaway that they were shampooed years ago and never properly extracted. The problem is, if you leave that shampoo residue behind, it actually degrades the carpet, makes it easier to stain, and reactivates every time you step on the carpet with wet shoes. It's imperative to get it all out now. Only one piece of carpet was not removable as it was glued in, so a traditional shampooing machine was used for that small sliver of carpet. Now, all that's left to do for day 1 is to reinstall the seats and call it a day. Good morning, everyone. Today is the beginning of day 2, and I have about 11 hours before the time is up. Now, I'm about to start the paint correction process, and there's something pretty severe going on with this hood. This is known as dieback or shrinkage. Dieback is a primer issue that is caused by poor bodywork. The hood and the trunk had been repainted and not well. As the solvents in the repaint outgas over time, severe scuffing that was never properly sanded reveals itself. Because there was excessive orange peel, I wet sanded without an interface pad, then compound and polish, and the result is a dazzlingly clear reflection, which then pulls your eye away from the dieback. Look at the huge difference from left to right. There's still scuffing there, but it's harder to notice with the crystal clear reflections of your surroundings. I didn't sand off all the texture, by the way, just enough to match it to the original paint. After addressing the dieback with 9 hours to go, I've still got a full car to compound and polish and wax, an interior to reassemble, and glass to clean. Thankfully, it's such a small car, or else I'd have no chance of staying on schedule. The only thing to look out for is some rust bubbles near the bottom of the car that I need to avoid hitting with my polisher. Everybody, we are 18 hours into the detail and I've just finished polishing the paint. It looks very, very good. Night and day. Not perfect, not show car ready. We still have these deep gouges, but they're much less noticeable than they were. So all that is left to do over these next 6 hours is reassemble the interior, do little bits and bobs, the engine bay, polish the brightwork, and do the glass, and that'll be a wrap. So let's keep making progress. Well, guys, here it is, the final result, and I'm very, very proud of how this one came out. It took just 23 hours, 45 minutes, a lot more reasonable than the Jaguar over there. I think it might be the most dramatic before and after I've ever done. So this one is going to hold a special place in my heart for a long while. I really appreciate you staying to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.